Hey guys, hey peeps. I wanted to go over the contest that DraftKings ReignMakers has for this coming Thursday, Thanksgiving, because they've got this whopper of a prize pool, and it's fairly complicated. I just wanted to go over it a bit. It's basically also a showdown for normal DraftKings Core Rare Elite contests, but it's a 3-game showdown. So you can just do the 3 there, and I believe you can also do regular deep lineup contests starting with the Thursday games. But the big one is this holiday millionaire one. $1 million first prize. That is, somebody is going to win that on Thursday. Pays all the way down to 2,022 spots. Get it, 2022, I guess. That pays $200. Next $300 at 1122. Currently, this is showing 1,030 entrants. I believe it was 860 this morning or last night, so it is rising. This is going to be a big question if you're looking to get into this cheaply, perhaps, how many entrants there are. And I'm going to go through what the various lineups cost and the packs here in just a second. So as far as the games themselves, and you can see it's very top stacked. Million, 100,000, 50, 35, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 25. So you have to look at what the chalk lineup sort of costs if you bought it aftermarket, and I'll show you that here in a second. So the 3 games are Buffalo, Detroit, traditional Detroit to be on New Year, Thanksgiving. Giants, Dallas, New England, Minnesota. I don't know the point spreads here. I just generally look at the over-under totals and the individual team implieds, at least for these things. And they got that extremely high. So they think Buffalo, Detroit's going to be a shootout. The other two, not as much. As far as team totals, Buffalo 32 points, which is huge. Dallas 27.5. None of the others really that high. So that's all this contest is based on, is players from these teams and making up the 5-man lineup: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and flex, which I believe flex can also be defense and kickers. In this case, just double check for yourself. And now this kind of costs a lot of money to enter if you're thinking about doing it. So just do your own research. So what they're doing is they're selling these holiday packs for $200. It's fairly complicated, but in the holiday packs, you are guaranteed to get a flannel card, which is like the fall card. You can also get sweater cards, which is going to be for the holiday Christmas tournament coming up. But to enter this contest here, you need a full lineup of flannel cards. So you need 5 flannel cards and to fit the positions. The pack itself guarantees 1 flannel card, and that's it. I don't think you can even get another one. But it does also guarantee a rare or better card, and then 3 core cards. And the flannel card is core. No, you can actually, I think, get a flannel. I'll go through the percentages here in just a second. So 3 core, pretty good ones, rare or better. A $200 pack. Here's what the actual pack contains. 1 core flannel card. So down the road, you're going to need the sweater card for the Christmas contest. So the core flannel card, these are usable after the tournament's over, but they are going to lose quite a bit of value and become like regular cards in most cases after the contest. All core cards are quarterback, skill star, blah, blah, blah. Then you get a rare or better. So you're going to get 4 core cards, and then you're going to get a rare or better. But the core actually can be a flannel or a sweater. And this is all called the holiday set. So you can actually get more than 1 flannel per pack. But it's so confusing. My brain's tired right now. And then the 5th card is a rare or better. So it's like 77% chance of a rare, 19% chance of an elite, 2.5% chance of a legendary, and what is that? Half of a percent, or 0.5% chance of a Reignmaker. The rare or better can also be a flannel. So it's 61% chance that the rare or better will be a standard holiday card. The rare or better flannel is a 20% chance it can be a rare or better sweater for 19%. So you can get more than one flannel. I apologize for that. You're guaranteed one core flannel. Then you're getting 3 more cores. And it looks like there's a 6% chance, I believe, that you can get a flannel out of that, out of those remaining 3. And then it would be 72% chance of getting a sweater and 21% chance of getting all 3 being standard. So I guess it looks like that you have a good chance of getting a sweater card as one of your other cores. But double check this because you're guaranteed the one flannel. Okay. Then you're going to get 2.2 odds of your remaining 3 cards. It will be 2.2 to be core and 0.72 to be a sweater. That's a pretty decent chance of getting a sweater out of one of your cards. And it's also that, but it's an expensive pack. So to enter the contest, you need a full lineup of flannel holiday cards. They also have a bonus right now going on where if you buy 3 packs, you get a free holiday player card. However, that does not mean it's going to be a flannel or a sweater. It's probably only holiday cards, which aren't usable in the special tournaments. Check their Discord if you have questions about that because it's fairly complicated. So again, you need 5 flannel cards to enter the big one on the 24th. You need 5 sweater cards to enter. There'll be one on the 25th of December. They also are usable cards, and then they're saying there may be additional holiday set perks. So all the holiday cards are players from these games, I believe. But there also are regular cards in there. Let me just double check. No, I'm sorry. Not all the holiday cards are from those games. But all the flannel cards are from these games. Sorry. It's confusing. It's confusing to explain. Now, there are a few key notable players missing that aren't issued. Slayton, Raymond, Noah Brown, DJ Shark, tight ends Hudson, Wright, and Smith. And the Minnesota defense is missing, actually. So there's just no cards of them that were issued with the pack. So you won't be able to play those in the tournament. So using a advanced, premium projection site, what they have currently, now these are changing. The chalk lineup for the flannel for the flannel contest or the 3-day showdown or the 3-game showdown, so to speak, is Josh Allen. Cook is currently, now this has changed, but Josh Allen, Cook, Diggs, Lamb, and St. Brown. What those cards cost on a floor price, if you just wanted to buy all those for the flannel, is about $1,500. And that's got a pretty high projection of 107.8. If you consider that normal chalk lineups are around 100 for the whole weekend, for the main slate usually. And if you do like that on that, it's like 161-ish. If it comes in as expected. The second unique chalk lineup would be Dak, Stevenson, Jefferson, Gabe Davis, and Pollard. That projects out to about 88 points, so quite a big gap down. That's about $900 currently. So these are the prices of the low floor. If you buy the pack, you're guaranteed to get one for $200, but you don't know what position it's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be a good one. The aftermarket is probably the way to go at this juncture. I mean, you can get other good cards in there, but you can see that the only cards here above 200 on this set are like St. Brown, Allen, Diggs, Prescott, Jefferson, all the rest, and they even go down to like $1 cards. Now you are going to get a rare, and you could get a legendary, you can get elite, etc., etc. You could get cards worth a lot, but and there may actually be a thing about serial numbers too, about one serial number being special. I'm not 100% sure on that. But one thing to keep in mind with this is the serial numbers, because it's very possible there could be a tie in this if chalk type stuff comes in. The third chalk lineup actually is right now is Goff. They have Goff above Cousins and Daniel Jones by a bit right now. That may change. Goff, Barkley, Jacoby Myers, Schultz, and Jamal Williams. And that's only 71 points. But it's cheap, $500 if you were buying them flat out. And again, you have to use flannels for these. But I was just calculating mine, which aren't flannels, but for the showdown. And I have a rare one that's about 88, so that's not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. But my best core one was like 74, so I'm not going to put that into a showdown, so to speak, or the Thursday only slate. I'm going to use it for the deep slate, most likely. So beyond this chalk, I was just running some calculations. Like the cheapest lineup, if you bought it outright, is like Mac Jones, Hines, Thornton, Bellinger, and Shakir, and that's projected to generate 24 points. But that's $156. The point of that being, if the contest doesn't fill, you're guaranteed to get 200. If you can get up to 1122 placing, you're guaranteed to get 300. Currently, there's 1,030 entries. So I don't think it's going to fill, but I'm not sure about that. There's going to be definitely people coming in because I think 200. And this is for whales. That's who's really going to be going for this. But the whole thing is you could judge for yourself if maybe you could buy a pack and see what you get, or you could buy a whole lineup and then say, well, I'm putting 400 or 500 in, or 800 or 900, and I feel like I have a decent chance to maybe get 2,000 to $1 million if things play out right. Again, it might literally come down to serial numbers for some of these. I think it will. And also, like I said, depends on how much it fills. Because for the low levels, for being if you're trying to get in cheaply. This here I looked at the players who are cheaper who had big games this year. And I also combine that with what the site says if they hit the 90th percentile. So this would be like if these guys went off for their best game of the year and their best game, period, like really went off. What could they do? And these were sort of the highest ones that fit in. Goff, Jamal Williams, Myers, Hawkinson, and Singletary. And that would be 136 points. So that's a lot. If this did happen, now that's not the likely scenario, but because if you remember, Goff and Hawkinson had a huge week earlier in the season. But that only cost $400. So that's sort of a gamble, But even that, the actual projection on this is probably 161. So even that. But, could that happen? Yeah, I could see Singletary going off. I could see Jamal Williams going off, and Myers and Hawkinson. Those are a little tougher. The wide receiver pool is very narrow on this. That's why you're getting down to Jacoby Myers. And the real cost of it is the quarterbacks, because the quarterbacks range from 145 to 425. So you have to get a quarterback. Otherwise, if you could get a lineup for $50, because you can get the other positions for really cheap, you could be guaranteed to get money if it doesn't fill. So that's just an interesting one I was looking at. And again, this Dak one, there's combinations you could do. This is the Allen Diggs stack. Then there's a Cousins Jefferson stack that's not on here, and there's a Dak Lamb stack. You got Pollard, Cook from Minnesota as well. So there's some interesting things going on. You got Goff potentially with St. Brown. You got the running back. You got Schultz. So there's some interesting combinations. But like Gabe Davis is already in the second team of wide receivers as far as the current projection. So it's sort of a thin wide receiver group, and they're sort of expensive. When you look at relative value, this is actually just points divided by the cost currently, I believe. So this is sort of like the best value currently, what they're based on their projection. Again, it's Goff, but like Cousins or Daniel Jones could be above them by the time that this comes. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They're not that much above them. They actually have Daniel Jones a bit lower right now, but it may come up. So Goff and Cousins pretty close. But Goff, Dalvin Cook, Lamb, Gabe Davis, and Saquon projects at 89 points and is $800. If you stuck Dak in, it takes up to 94 points for $930. If you stuck Dak in for Goff, and that's more than the second chalk lineup. Yeah, that's like 5 more points in that second chalk lineup for the same price. That's basically what that comes out to. And then like a cheap moderate lineup, Goff again, Goff, Daniel Jones, or Cousins. Jamal Williams, Myers, Schultz, and Singletary. That projects out to 65 for $400. That's sort of like this 90th percentile one. And just run, I mean, these are just running numbers. I'm not saying who to get, but again, Goff, this is value per cost. Whoops. So these are literally like the literally dividing the projected points by the cost. Goff, and it's actually Mac Jones is close there. Goff, Madison, Thornton, Osborne, and the kicker from Minnesota, 40 points for $189. So like the cheapest lineup, like that's only 24 points, and this one's 40 points. So the question is if you already own some of these, then you'll be adding, obviously. Or if you buy a pack, you want to try your chances for 200 because you're going to get one of these players. But some of them are only worth $1 or $2, $5. And then you could get other good cards. You could even get another Flannel card. I guess to me the question really is how many entrants there are going to be. Because if you can buy a decent lineup for 400 and then like a really good lineup for 900, 800, I mean, there's some big prizes there. But try to be mindful of serial numbers though, because you could lose up here. You can lose, well, I mean, you could lose $900,000 on a serial number, but 50,000, you know what I mean? So they may come into play on this. And the chalk with these guys, these are the guys you're going to see. These 5, maybe Davis not as much, probably these 4, Barkley. Those are probably going to be the ones that are predominant and they have some of the highest prices. But you can see that running backs are cheaper because there's more of them. Quarterbacks are expensive. Wide receivers are there's not. It's very shallow as to what theoretically should come in. Anyway, that's it. I'll probably do one here again on last week's results. I had a pretty good week. I don't know if you saw my other video. I withdrew quite a bit already out of my DraftKings, so should be hitting my offline account soon. And it's funny that I, talk about $20 cards and all this, but this is what I normally play. So, and I'll show you what I won, what I came in last week on DraftKings ReignMakers and the lineups that won in the next video, probably tomorrow. All right, thanks everyone.